Okay, welcome. Cooking demo is Chinese chicken dumpling. When I say chicken dumpling, I'm not talking about this chicken dumpling. This is Southern United States chicken dumpling. This is Chinese chicken dumpling that we're talking about today. This chicken dumpling could be made in the shape of gold ingot. This is a traditional Chinese New Year food, and it brings fortune. So the dumpling could be steamed like this at a dim sum restaurant. You could also find them in fried. So this one is a wonton in a soup form. Similar wrapping technique, but different wrap and filling. And next is the pot stickers. As you can see, this is a pan fried, very popular in Chinese restaurants. Now, this shape, this form of pan fry, also seen in Japan, is called gyoza. And with a similar technique, with a slightly different filling and a wrapping technique. And in Korea, it's called mandu. Mandu is mainly deep fried, and it could be broiled or steamed. So these are the variation of the dumpling in the form of wrappers. So now I'm gonna go to the next thing. Of course, the people are wondering what's inside. Now I'm gonna share a video on how we make the filling. This is my own recipe. Well, not exactly. As you can see, this is the pork and shrimp. They're finely chopped. And I put cabbage, this ginger, garlic, and scallions. And the sugar in a mix. And I use soy sauce, sesame seed oil, and salt and pepper in the equal amount. And now mix well. This particular recipe I found from a coworker, and I kind of learned on the technique. What it does is really unique because you have to boil the cabbage until it's soft. Then it's a time to marinate. So we're going to see next part is how to do, sorry, there's so many screens here. This is someone I found online. Okay, only 6 seconds, so watch quick. This is about the wrapper. Of course, I cannot do that fast. I tried to even do one. It was not successful. So, okay. So, any questions so far? Hi, Mara.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, I didn't realize that, unless I saw that it was a pork and shrimp dumpling. Is shrimp just standard in a dumpling?
Yeah, shrimp is actually chopped.
Right, but I'm saying, like, I have seen dumplings where they will say that they are pork and shrimp, but most of the time they'll just say pork. So is there shrimp in the dumpling even if it doesn't say that there's shrimp in the name? Or no?
They should list the main protein. It'd be kind of silly if you don't, because people have allergies.
Right.
But so my recipe particularly is the in the variation from the original. Original was beef and pork. Beef was really tough to be in a dumpling to mix with a dough and boil, so it's kind of hard to digest. Not digest, hard to chew. It has a different texture. So I decided to use the pork, doing some trial test and trial to figure out what's the best. And the shrimp came out to be a pretty good. So that's that's what it is. So shrimp, you could add more, you could add less, depends on your taste. I hope that answered your question.
It does. Yeah, I make pork dumplings. I never thought about putting shrimp in them.
Yeah, if you don't have allergy, seafood allergy, that would be a good addition to try. So what I do is to soak in water, of course, defrost, and kind of slice them half and then chop, 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 chop. You won't have the same consistency, the portion size as the pork. Well, it's a ground pork, so you want to have a same size much as possible. Of course, a ground shrimp, it's not very common. So about the cabbage, it's a little interesting. I'm gonna change camera to my overhead.
I have one question.
Sure.
What if you want vegetarian things? What should I put in?
You could do bean sprouts, which I have in here. It's a very common bean sprouts, and cabbage, and of course scallions. So the interesting part that I learned, green onion and scallions, the exact same thing. Well, according to Gordon Ramsay, he's a chef. So this part is called scallion. The root you discard. So this part is called scallion, the green, the white and the yellow part. And this is called green onion. We often see in dishes as a topping. So you chop it fine. So the green part is the green onion. So what I use is this part. Sometimes I go to grocery store. This is what I found today at a different grocery store. So look at the parts are very small. If you really want to find a scallion, you have to look around. So
Lou,
yes.
Excuse me. How do you feel about tofu for a vegetarian dumpling to give it a little bit more substance than just vegetables?
Yes.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yes, I love frozen tofu. That's one of the things you can make tofu into more texture, right? Instead of just tofu and smash them. So that's it. I don't have tofu with me, but so tofu, what I do is that you could buy a medium firmness and then freeze them, and then you remove from water and defrost. So you freeze overnight, and then you come out, and then you could try different. Let's see. After you defrost, you want to squeeze all the water out. That's you get the texture. It's a soy texture. So after that, you could equate that amount by volume, not by weight, to the meat ingredient. That's your main protein. And besides that, you need to find. This is kind of important. This is young ginger. Oftentimes you go to grocery store, there's a difference of, this is old ginger. As you can see, this is kind of brown, and this, when you open up, it's kind of pale white or yellow. This is young ginger. Young ginger is edible. Old ginger is for seasoning, like for stew or soup. So you put chopped ginger and chopped garlic. Those are the essential aromatic ingredient for vegetarian. I'll be happy to share a vegetarian dumpling recipe with you. I'll share. I'll send you an email. Okay, so with this particular recipe, let's see. Oh, here's my meat. Okay, I'm gonna do this. This is this particular recipe I found because that I parboil. I actually blanch the cabbage in water. And that what it takes is the liquid out of cabbage. And that particular part is kind of important in the flavoring. But this particular recipe is that you put the flavoring back in by adding correct amount of liquid. And this has been marinated for over 2 hours. So by adding chopped bean sprouts, this is a mung bean sprouts. So you can, okay,
Lou,
yes.
excuse me. Are there different kinds of bean sprouts used, or is mung the most preferred?
Mung bean sprouts is more, let's see, easier to eat. The other type is a soybean sprout. Mung bean is green beans. It's more like a dessert. The other one is a soybean. It has a tip, like, let's see. This is the anatomy of bean sprout. So here's a bean, and this is the stem. Of course, it has a root on the bottom. If you buy the bean sprout, this is not very, oh, here's one. It has a little ring left on there. If it's a yellow, a little bigger, then it's a soybean. Soybean is, the yellow part is kind of tough. That is mainly for soup. When it's cooked down real good, it will be more like a soup.
Thank you.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, they're different type. So for this recipe, I'm adding about one tablespoon of a chopped. What it does is to give a secret consistency. Actually, it will give you juice. It's you'll see at the end. So I don't need the rest. Now I'm gonna do a little mixing. Oh, I should have used spoon. Oh, my hands are dirty. Okay, lesson learned. So well made. So that's mixed in. Okay, so the dumpling wrap, as you see in the video, you can make fresh. I have attempted, it failed, and I decided not to even mention that. So this is what I buy from a grocery store. This particular brand is pretty good. It's based in New York. I know they probably have distribution point all over the country. So I'm gonna open up. Open this up earlier. So there are different types of dumpling wrappers. If you're familiar with the Asian or Chinese grocery store, you'll see yellow one. Yellow one is a Cantonese style. This particular one, well, even though it doesn't say, it's a Shanghai style. So they're northern style and southern style. The difference is ingredient. Southern style has egg in there. So this is what a wrapper looks like. You notice that two sides, it has a less flour versus more flour on one side. And what I'd like to do is to put filling in the side has less flour. And now I'm going to do this. So a couple of things that you need to remember. Water. So during the assembly, you want to put the right amount. The right amount to me is about a pecan size ingredient. Some recipes say 1 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon might be a little too small, but 1 tablespoon is too much. So first one, you just kind of try it out. Now just dab a little and wet the edge, only half circle. And now it's the wrapping part. A very good wrapper will allow you to seal it by simple pinch. That's one side. So pinch, 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 pinch. So here's one. Here's one style. So I kind of let it stand, and that's one. The important thing is that you want to make sure it's all sealed. Otherwise, when you boil it, it's going to fall apart. And that's, I forgot what that design is named. And I learned something interesting called rosebud. I'm going to show you what shape that is. So this part is all the same. You just be doing sealing. And let's see, oh no, it's doing this way. So sealing like the half moon, they call it. If it's a fresh dumpling wrap, it's ideal. Well, that's a best. But because this is frozen, it tends to crack. So what I do is when I open the package, I like to use a damp cheesecloth. Okay, this is the fun part. So I give it more space, put some edge here, and turning it. Ah, fail. Okay, well, you get kind of technique because this is kind of brittle, it's really hard. Okay, so next one I'm gonna show you is a different wrapping technique. Yeah, it takes some practice. This is something I saw on the internet. I said, hey, I'm gonna give it a try. During my test run, came out pretty good, so I said, okay, why not? So this is the third one. This style is very common, and I like it more because I know this style has been around for a long time. I think it's called straight line, but I don't see a straight line. It's more like a crescent shape. This is what we call dumpling. So the shape resembles gong ingots. This is something I found in the store today. It's kind of funny. So this is the shape. So now the next step is I'm gonna turn on the water. Turn on the stove for the water. Whoops, that's a wrong camera. That's me. Hello. Okay. Now this is my other side. Okay, turn it on. I just need to make sure it has, let's see, about 2/3 of the space in there. 2/3 of water in your pot. So there'll be enough water. Make sure it's deep enough. Let's see, I don't want to put my finger in there. So deep enough for one dumpling to go in, but dumpling is not ready yet. So the reason I use wok is that I could do this motion. I could lift it, I could separate the dumpling and the pot. And what is this called? Keep forgetting. Sorry, it's in my thing. I don't even know what is moon spoon. What is that thing? It's called. Someone help. Oh, skimmer. Sorry, this is called a skimmer. Because it has a hole that you could drain a dumpling. So I'm gonna turn on. So I turn on high. I want it to get boiled. Once I put the dumpling in, I'm gonna lower to medium high. So I'm coming back here. So let's see. While it's boiling, I'm gonna show you something. Let's see. What did I show you? Oh. You guys probably see this candy. This is lychee candy. It's a very popular Chinese New Year candy. So if you cannot find them in your town, message me. I'll send you a bag because I love to send people candies. The next thing I want to talk about is the major ingredient is the soy sauce. I don't know if you can see soy sauce. So Kikkoman. My family always use Kikkoman. Of course, not everything. Oh, here's another Kikkoman. This is the sesame seed oil. That's a must in the dumpling recipe. So these are the two major condiment you put in the dumpling mixing. So let me do some more. Let me put this aside. I had to hide the broken dumplings, kind of unsightly. But I'm going to take a moment. Does anyone have any questions?
I do.
Yes, please ask away.
I noticed that you didn't like when I make my dumplings, and obviously I'm not from any Asian country at all. So I'm not following. I mean, I have no tradition. It's just something that I enjoy because I love pot stickers that much, and making them myself is just a cheaper way for me to eat them as much as I want. But I will marinate my pork prior in like a combination of fish sauce and soy sauce with some ginger and garlic and all that. And I was just, do you just leave the pork as is typically, or what?
So the major ingredient to make the pork taste a little bit better, but if you don't like the taste of pork, I use ginger. Some kids don't like ginger. The taste of ginger is kind of spicy, but ginger is actually sweet when you combine with other spices. Of course, the garlic and scallion. Oh, here's something I want to mention. This is a cut stem, and just so happened this little part grew up. Don't use this for cooking as an aromatic ingredient. You could use in the soup. So use this part that will give you more flavor. So all this mixing will actually get you more flavor. So this is the filling, and so anyway, I think my water is boiling. Let me turn to a different camera. Okay, see, it's a hard boil, so I'm gonna turn it down to medium high, and I'm gonna reach out to get some more pre-made dumplings. So it's like cooking show. You have all kinds of things pre-made. So this is a pre-made. So what you do is carefully drop in one at a time. Okay. And when you pre-made, of course, you want to make sure you put flour. I think this is lesson learned. I did. And also, this is a cold dumpling. You just take out from the refrigerator. Once it hits the hot water, it tends to burst. So first thing you do is to set. I'm not going to do this one. So first thing you do, as soon as you put it in, you want to separate the dumpling from the bottom of the pot. And I want it to have a little better boiling action. Okay, so put more in there. Okay, now make sure it's not stick to the bottom. So the time for cooking is really 3 minutes. Let me put timer on in case I forget. Then it's gonna flow. Once it flows to the top, give another couple more minutes, and that way you can see the difference. So right now it's really just cooking. I don't know if you can see on the camera. You're gonna see the difference in a little bit. Does anyone has any questions? So while it's boiling, I'm gonna prepare my dipping sauce. These are some of my favorite dipping sauce ingredients. one thing you want to remember, you don't know how it tastes. The first dumpling you made or cooked is to try it and see what ingredient, what flavor is missing. If it's too salty, you don't want too much soy sauce. If it's too sweet or anything else, everyone has a different taste bud. So what I do is, if I don't know the saltiness, I hold the soy sauce. First thing I use is the black vinegar. This is actually called Worcestershire sauce. I don't know if it's so everywhere, but this is I found it in a Chinese grocery store. And of course, sriracha. Sorry, this is an empty bottle. I should have bought a full one so you could see. Everyone's familiar with sriracha. Or you could use this. It's called the sambal olek. This is a Malaysian style chili garlic sauce. So I add a little bit. Depends how spicy you want. This is more. This is spicier than sriracha. A little bit sour as well. Of course, the sesame seed oil is a must. Just a couple drops to give you an aroma for the sauce. So this is the sauce. Just a little bit so that you can see how it tastes. I'll add a little bit soy sauce right now, just for the color. And this is something of my favorite. I know it's not sold everywhere. This is called Berkeley Ash flavor oil. This is actually peppercorn oil. It gives a little burning sensation, just like you eating Sichuan cuisine. So I add a little bit. Just a little bit. It will burn my lid if I put too much. Okay, so my 3 minutes up. Let me move this thing out of the way. Now I'm gonna give a quick look. So looking pretty good. So it flowed to the top. So we're gonna give a couple more minutes. At this point, the dough should look like, the wrapper should be more translucent. We just give more time for inside the filling to cook completely. So the best way to enjoy is, of course, a chopstick. Okay, what people don't like about virtual UYE is you can't taste the food. Okay, but it's all right. This is mainly for people who cook, right? All right, so time to lift it up. Now kind of drain. This particular case, you don't need to fully drain. If it's too dry, it'll be kind of hard to eat. If it's yes.
Lou, I have a question.
Yes.
So, so you boiled those, and you're not going to saute them? What's the difference between just a regular dumpling and a pot sticker? Well, the pot sticker is where you would then fry it a little bit, but other dumplings don't get that treatment?
I can actually show you how to do pot sticker. Look like we have a little bit of time. So if you like to see the pot sticker, let me see. Let me see, where's my hang on. Okay, where's my pot? Where did it go? Oh, okay. It's kind of so these are. Let me change the camera. Okay, so this you must have a pan. You must have a lid. This is not made for this particular pan, but it's okay. we're gonna evacuate this away. So what I'm gonna do is to turn it on to medium high and let this thing to heat up. Now I'm gonna do it's just something I recommend. Okay, I just got a warning. I only got 10 minutes left. So I'm gonna just do a couple. So this is Old Tasty, oops, wrong place. Old Tasty dumpling. It's a pre-cooked. I like pre-cooked because it it won't break as easy. If it's not pre-cooked, it's kind of more fragile. So while it's heating up, I'm gonna put oil. I will say about 1 teaspoon, depends on the volume. It's almost like same volume as you were doing the scrambled egg. So I had to turn up higher because time will run out. Open up the package.
As I said, I was just wondering because, like, when I make my dumplings, I guess I'm really making pot stickers, and I do them in a very different way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's like I don't consider what I'm doing Asian at all, other than I am using Asian ingredients.
Oh, that's okay. It's okay.
It's just like I said, I started making them because I would spend like $40 at a time on pot stickers.
Oh, wow.
For me and my son, because we love them that much.
Okay, if you know how, if you have access to pre-made dumplings, this is what you could do. Or you could just wrap your own dumpling and then you do this way. So I'm gonna do 4 for now. So the magic is you want to create a burning coloring on the bottom. You want to have oil. Now it's kind of like frying. You can hear it kind of sizzles. So I'm going to lower temperature a little bit. So next thing I need to prepare is some water. What this does is right now it's cooking the bottom. Once the bottom is cooked, you can kind of see, well, not too much. Give it another minute.
Yeah, we have a really good Asian store here. They have wonderful things. So I do sometimes get frozen pot stickers or dumplings from them. But that's also where I buy all of my ingredients when I want to make my own.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you have access to the frozen dumplings, this is what you can do. So you go home, you could boil it, or you could do a pot sticker. Let me see, there's another, where's my favorite gel? There's another favorite gel. Okay, here's my favorite thing to brag about is the Trader Joe brand. They also make pretty good pot sticker, frozen pot stickers to buy. Trader Joe is everywhere, so you can always look. Now, it looks like I have the color I wanted. Now is the time to steam. So add about 1 tablespoon of water. And put a little on. What this does is to steam everything in this pan.
Right.
So that gives a complete cooking process. So you put a lid on, so steam is doing its thing. So it's pretty useful, I guess. So you do need a lid. Now I'm gonna turn it down a little bit so I won't overheat and it may burn the bottom. So I see someone just joined us. If anyone has any questions, I'm gonna change to the overhead, and while this thing is cooking, let me vacate this. So this is the cooked one, and let's see, can I try one? And this is my dipping sauce I just made. So the important thing is, well, important thing is you want to try one without putting the sauce, the dipping sauce. Okay. To me, it's kind of sweet. So I think this sauce is gonna balance the sweetness. So hot sauce is always one way to bury a very distasteful food. Okay, now let's take a quick look. You can see the difference. Because it's pre-cooked, you don't have to worry too much about okay, sorry, I gotta get it right. You cancel to pick it up. No, it's too hot. So this just to show you what it looks like now. So this is the hot sticker. You kind of see. It's not done yet because the wrapper is not translucent. So we just want to make sure. So let's give it a little bit more time. Okay, in Taiwanese cooking, we put starch and vinegar in the water mix so that you have like a pancake texture on the bottom. So, okay, I think I need more water. No, where's my water? Oh.
So it's cornstarch vinegar. Was it white vinegar or what kind of vinegar?
Yes, white vinegar. It's a little bit flavoring. You could try it out. So what it does is to give a little thin layer, like a crepe thinness to the bottom. When you pick it up, it kind of stay together. It's a cooking technique, but you could always try and see how they go. So it looks like it's about done. That looks about right. So here's your hot sticker. Now I need a plate to put it on. I just did not have the correct utensil, but this is how hot sticker is being plated. So here's your hot sticker. And straight to the bottom. Can you see it?
Yes.
Closer. Okay, great. And there is. And do you have any questions? Maybe I need to watch your cooking. Watch your cooking with me next time. And we could be really eating together.
That's true. I came from another meeting because I thought about making some, but I had another meeting right before this one which is why I got here a little after 6. So.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I'm very happy to see you here. Okay, so
I was looking forward to this all week.
oh, we can have a one-on-one meeting. How's that sound? We make an appointment.
Yeah, that'll be fine. I have a video actually of me cooking my dumplings because my son was asking me about it. So I just made a video. I'll see if I can upload it on Yelp.
Okay, great. Yeah, this app just tell me is less than a minute to go. But thank you very much for joining today.